Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. If you haven't yet, come over and join us on YouTube, youtube.com/X1Bros. Come join us. It's a great time. It's a good time. Lots of big news this week. Lots of big games that we've been playing. The biggest news probably is the Xbox exclusives that were leaked.
Yeah.
We're getting new exclusives. Jord the man, drop it like it's hot. Tell the people, what happened with these exclusive leaks? And what are they?
So, I believe the story was broken by, what was it, Windows Central?
I believe
it was
so, yes.
Windows Central. Anyway, Compulsion Games.
Or Jeff Grubb. It might have been Jeff Grubb. Is he at Windows Central? I don't know. It was broken by some very talented
I'm pretty sure it was Windows. Well, I don't know. Where I'm getting my information is Windows Central. So, anyway.
Shout out to Windows Central.
Good on them.
Yeah, shout out. Yay, yeah.
Yeah, hey.
Spicy, do you need to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, I do,
Go, man.
but no.
Go.
There you go. We can handle it.
Okay, thanks, guys. I was going to do it behind, with the camera changing.
Why
But
not just keep it on three of us?
call it
Put
out.
it
Call
on
it
three.
out.
There we
Everyone, excuse me. I'll be right back.
Yes.
Thanks,
This
David.
is why we're not professional. I leave for the bathroom all the time. It gives us some flavor. Go ahead, Jordan.
There we go.
It was just Corden.
Ronan, it was Jeff Grubb. Windows Central wrote the article. Grubb broke it on his podcast. So
There we go.
We are clarified.
There we go. Thank you very much.
we're professional.
Yes, thank you. That's the people.
Anyway, the big news is Compulsion Games. They are the developer that gave us We Happy Few, and
nice.
Obsidian, which we all know who Obsidian is. They did Fallout New Vegas. They did Outer Worlds. Grounded. I believe they're doing Avowed. So we know who they are. They are coming out with, or rumor has it, that they're each working on a project. Starting with Compulsion Games, it's codenamed, and this is right over from Windows Central, it's codenamed Project Midnight. This upcoming title is supposedly a third-person action game set in a dark, fantastical world.
Oh, daddy
So
likes.
you've already got the setting nailed down.
Third person, dark, fantastical. That's
Yep.
all I need.
Midnight is described as a coming-of-age, so Mark will like this game.
Yes.
Tale drawing upon inspirations from the American Deep South. The game features magic and large fantastical beasts with a strong Southern Gothic vibe, which I like that Gothic art style.
Well,
if you guys have ever seen games like Bloodborne or anything like that Gothic art style.
Yeah.
The game is wholly single player. Nothing wrong with that. With what has been described to the writer of this story as a strong, or what has been described as a strong story.
Oh, I
So
like it.
basically, we got a
Single player
third-person action, dark fantasy, story-focused game
with a Southern Gothic vibe.
Yeah,
Dude, that sounds amazing.
Now there's a game, and hey, I'm actually excited. And it's interesting they talked about the art style, the Southern Gothic vibe, because Compulsion Games, who made We Happy Few, I think nail their art style.
Their art style was in
So,
fact, that was the appeal to that game.
Even if you don't like that art style of We Happy Few, you got to admit the way they did that art style was really well done.
Yeah, I agree. Let's pull up some footage of We Happy Few while we talk, because it
Okay.
is really that I think the art style in that game is what was so attractive to people.
I think it pulled them in, yeah.
Yeah, in that game. So okay, so that is the exclusive game from Compulsion Games. What about the Obsidian? What is Obsidian?
So
working
Obsidian, theirs was a little bit more vague, but it's I don't know if this is the code name or what the game will be called. It's Pentiment. It's being built by a small team of around 12 people, and it's more of a narrative RPG adventure rather than something combat oriented.
Okay.
And this is also from Windows Central. You guys go read the article. It's really good, and it's super cool that we even have, because we have actually, if you think about it, we actually have a lot of I don't know if you want to call them Xbox exclusive or Game Pass exclusives or whatever, Microsoft games that are coming out that we know about. I mean, we have the new Perfect Dark game, we got Fable, we have a Motorsport out there for racing fans, we have Outer Worlds 2, which is probably far off.
Yeah, we have a.
That's just counting on one hand.
We have a turn-based strategy game that we know
Yeah.
has been leaked that they're working on as well.
Look what's just been recent. You had Forza Horizon 5, which was very good. You had Age of Empires 4. I mean, Microsoft is nailing it. And now we have 2 more games to add to that.
Well, on that, we did get a question in this week from Andrew Courtney. He said, based on the most recent game leaks for the Series X and S of Compulsion's new game and Oblivion's new game, do you like how Microsoft is allowing publishers to take these kind of risks with games that maybe we don't see as much on our own or even on other platforms? Does that diversity that Xbox have or is trying to have offer make you more excited about this new generation? And are in Game Pass, because of Game Pass, do you think Microsoft's able to take more of these risks as well? So first of all, first question, do we like the diversity? I think yes, absolutely. Who doesn't want many great games to play of different genres? And taking the risks is important. That's how you drive gaming forward. That's how you're on the cutting edge. When you look at Game Pass overall, Game Pass itself is driving gaming forward. And, the risk is that nobody's going to like it. It's going to receive a lot of criticism, which it did initially. You don't really hear that criticism anymore.
Nope.
It's gone away because I think they're proving themselves.
Because they finally realized, oh, hey, the XoneBros were right. It's an incredible deal that I should try out. We've been saying it since the beginning.
Yeah. How about let's talk about Spicy. Give me your thoughts. This new news, these two new to answer. Okay, Andrew Courtney.
Okay, what are the games again? Because I remember you told me to go take a leak at the beginning.
One of them is a story about Mr. McSpicy taking a leak in the southern.
It was very relieving. Yeah.
No, so one of them is from Compulsion Games, which is these guys we're watching right here. It's codename Midnight. It's supposedly a third-person action game set in a dark, fantastical world with a Southern Gothic vibe, and
I'm in. I don't care.
Hold on, it's gonna get better.
It gets better.
Okay, then never mind. I take that back.
It gets better. Yeah. It's a wholly single-player experience, and this is the part I think you'll like because I know you like these types of games. Mm-hmm. They said it's described as a coming of age.
Ooh.
Yes. I love those games.
We made a joke while you were gone back.
Yeah, I love those games.
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange is it's a very underrated game, I would say. It's a very good game. Yeah. And you're coming of age, as a teenage girl photographer.
And then the game from Obsidian is Pentiment, which is just it sounds like a narrative RPG adventure more than something combat oriented.
Okay.
And who Obsidian is. Outer Worlds, Fallout New Vegas.
Chat's saying they did the Stick of Truth. Did they do the Stick of Truth?
So Ubisoft published it.
Who did the Stick of Truth? Because that game was fantastic too. But that pedigree sounds really awesome. Yeah, I'm in. I don't care. I'm in. And these are coming to Game Pass. That's the story, right?
Well, they would.
Well, it's like a
developers, Obsidian Entertainment.
Yeah.
Did they do the second one, or is Stick of Truth the second one?
No, Stick of Truth is the first.
No,
one.
the superhero one is the second one. Okay, Fractured But Whole.
Yeah,
is the
Fractured
second
But Whole. That's so funny.
And they did
that's so funny. Oh, Ubisoft did the second one. Oh, okay. Interesting. They brought it in-house. But, yeah, I mean, I think, Andrew, to answer your question, I think I don't know why you wouldn't be excited
the whole,
for this.
I think it's good that Microsoft is letting the developers kind of branch out because if you look at it and look at, like, the current, like, top AAA games, there's not a lot of them that are taking risks or doing something different or going off in a
lot of them
direction.
Are sequels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean,
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's not anything
not that
wrong
there's
with
anything wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, sequels are safe, right? But
if it's a bad sequel, then there's something wrong with that. Yeah.
But no, I like that they're letting the developers do what they want to do, which I think is good because you don't get that like fatigue not only as a player but as a developer.
So now Andrew Courtney did ask as the last part of his question, is it Game Pass? Is Game Pass allowing Microsoft Studios to take these risks?
I
would say
I think there's a part of it maybe because even if on Game Pass people are going to play your game that would have never have played your game before.
Yeah.
Because how many times do you guys and does anybody kind of just every once in a while, maybe once a month or so, pull up the Game Pass list and just kind of scroll through it and see what's there?
Yeah.
And then you find
you have a built-in audience that you don't have to then market if you're which studios are reliant upon, which is why we get sequels.
So I think it does help.
Can I make an analogy? I think it helps 90%. I think it's that big of a deal.
That's a big percentage
for Game Pass, and here's why: television was always subpar to movies. Movies is where the best. Mark, you talk about this all the time. Used to be that movies was where the best of the best were for whether it's acting, cinematography, directing, skill. That has moved to television and television series, and the reason it's moved is because of services like Netflix, Amazon, HBO Max.
That's where the money is.
Because that's where the money is. And it shelters. You don't, with a built-in audience on Netflix, you can put a lot of money into risky shows that a network like NBC, ABC, CBS can't. They have to use time-tested things that have done. You've seen the sitcom done a million times before. This police drama done a million times before. On these paid subscriptions, they have a built-in audience, so you can take risks because it's going to get seen, and it actually favors you, or it's in your interest to create really good, unique content to thus keep people in your subscription service and give more. So I think over time, we're going to see the same thing that happened with movies, and now the best entertainment is, in my opinion, is in television. I think we're going to see that with gaming. We're going to get away from sequels all the time because they're the safe thing, and we're going to see some new, refreshing gaming unlike we've ever seen before because of this. Mm-hmm. Spicy. Thoughts on that? Am I wrong? Tell me where I'm wrong.
No.
Am I right? What are your thoughts?
I think you have a good, valid argument. I would also say PlayStation has always done well on the indie side of things.
Yeah.
They've always catered to a lot of independent games, and that's, I think, where before a lot of the expression, a lot of the I guess risks were being taken. Not necessarily AAA, but like the little developers. Those are the ones that you were getting the most unique experiences before.
Yeah.
I think with I agree with you. I think it's going to allow more of a diverse lineup doing that with how you explain things. I agree with that. So maybe the indie side of things, the arcades, the Xbox arcade, remember when that was a thing? But PlayStation has always done it really good. And I would say PC has always, that was the floor.
Like Steam.
Steam, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That is where indie games really were popular. And there's, I call it the golden era of indie games. It was like 2000
during the 360 era, yeah.
To
right
like
in the middle there.
2015 was like the golden. You had some really unique games coming out that were top notch.
And again, because you had the first time, I mean, if you think about it, the shift there was you didn't need a major publisher to get your game out there. All of a sudden, you had Xbox Marketplace open up to players, but more importantly, you had Steam, where you could just go in and publish your game for people, and so it flooded this. I think we're seeing a similar transition here with this Game Pass model.
I can totally see that. It's kind of cool once you put it that way to see that kind of. I don't want to use the word diversity. I hear that word way too much, but the uniqueness. I guess it is diversity, but just the uniqueness of the game type coming out. The riskier games, not necessarily the first person shooters, not necessarily. Those type of games, it's you're going to see AAA, developers start to bring that out, and that's really cool. David, I agree with you.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, that was well.
That's why I didn't go to Jordan. I knew you would agree with me. No, Andrew Courtney, that's a great question. Thank you very much. Again, big news that we're getting even more exclusives here into Xbox, into Game Pass. It feels like so. It in business, in anything, momentum matters, and it feels like Xbox just keeps making moves that add on little by little to the momentum. And maybe Xbox is overstating it, but Game Pass specifically just seems to have this momentum that just keeps going, baby. It keeps going. Ride that momentum. Ride that wave.
Yeah.
Ride that wave. As the children say.
Is that what the kids are saying nowadays?
I actually don't know. Great question again. Thank you very much, Andrew Courtney. Let's go to Forza Horizon 5 real quick, because we did talk about it last week. We had initial impressions, but we have full gameplay. It did release for the first time this week for a lot of people. Now, for everybody that's listening to us, head over to our YouTube channel. Tomorrow, we actually have a full first impression review gameplay of Forza Horizon 5. Jordan the Man drops in and plays the game and gives his first impressions. Very entertaining, about 20 minutes long. In-depth first impression review there. So go check that out if you're curious how it is. But let's just follow up on our thoughts from last week. Spicy and Jordan, you guys really liked the game. I didn't have a chance to play it. I have had a chance to jump in and play it now. You guys were both right on the world. I couldn't agree more. The world is the highlight here in Forza Horizon 5 for sure. Now remember, I do have that new LG television that I'm rolling on, and let me tell you,
it does look good.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Really, really enjoying it. My one criticism is...
It's everybody's. I know exactly what you're
Yes. We had this talk last week, and we weren't quite sure because we hadn't dove in.
We dove in.
But leaderboards they've never gotten back to 3. And sorry, when I say leaderboards, I mean the club system. Now, the club system, I will say, the club system does do one thing cool, and that is when you join a club and you go out to the Xbox club, everybody's shared screenshots or shared screen captures. That is really cool. That's very cool.
You know, it'd be cooler.
A leaderboard.
If it was in game.
If it was in game, yeah. Well, I don't even mind going out for that. I just want a leaderboard. And by leaderboard, we have a club leaderboard against other clubs, which, what are we, Spicy? We're up there.
We were at 132.
132.
Right before the show.
Top
we were
1%.
We were at 129th in the world, I think, 2 days ago. But then I haven't played in 2 days, so, you know.
So it went down.
Yeah, it went down.
So if you haven't yet, come join the XoneBros Club. It's X1B, X1B. And you can search for it. Jordan the Man is actually the owner, so that's how you know it's the correct one. Join us, join the club, and help us. Let's get top 100. I want to break that 100 mark.
Yeah.
Open enrollment. Yeah, it's really fun. I've been hanging out on the clubs a little bit.
Yeah.
I've been asking people, what's your favorite car? Because I want to give people. I'm a graphic designer. I want to make cool skins. So I'm just asking what people is their favorite vehicles. And I've been trying, when they've been putting that, I've been trying to make XoneBros skins on there for everyone to download, because you can share them, the liveries and all that stuff. It's actually, that's a great plus to this game, is how cool you can make your cars, make them your own. And I've been trying to make them, since there's so many cars, I can't do all of them right now, because there's hundreds and hundreds of cars. But if you put your car on there, I'm going to do my best to make a cool skin for you.
Yeah, so my only criticism, clubs, that overall aspect is really fun about clubs. But the one thing that they're missing that they had in Forza Horizon 3, they removed it in 4, and it's not made it back yet, is you could see everybody's contribution for the week, the day, the month, and all time inside of your club. And I think that just adds this interactivity. It adds this inside club competition.
Didn't your club have levels too?
There was levels
you
within
would level
your club.
within your club, and like the club itself would level, and you would it was much more in depth.
It's just a nice little addition that I think is missing, and I really wish they would have in there.
You know why I think that they don't have it in this game? I'll just go ahead and tell you, since you nodded. I'm gonna take that nod as Mark. Go ahead.
Yeah, for those of you listening, nod.
Yes, he just nodded to me. So in Forza 3, we didn't have the club system that Xbox has.
Yeah. I think you said this last week a little bit. You think they're pushing us to the clubs?
Correct. I think it's Windows. We didn't say it on the show. I believe we just said it over dinner. But anyways,
we said it on the show.
We did say it on the show. Well, I'll say it again then. I think it's the Windows Explorer of or the Windows Edge now, I guess is what you call it. Meaning they didn't have that club system that they currently have on Xbox on Forza 3, but they did on Forza 4, and so they removed that old system to try to push people towards their Xbox Live club system, and they continued it on this as well to just kind of showcase that Windows Edge is a great browser, but the clubs are great. But in reality, what it does is we lose a lot of the features that make it what it is.
Well, I just need internal leaderboards would just make it top notch.
Yeah.
Well, so maybe that'll come in an update.
Windows Edge is a perfect example because it's the kind of program that you don't mind that it's there. You just don't want to use it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't mind that they have clubs on the Xbox. I just don't want to use it.
Yeah, other than that, as far as, for me right now personally, it is tied with Forza Horizon 3. We'll see if it passes it long-term, longevity-wise, but it's at least as good as Forza Horizon 3 in my opinion. Spicy, I think you and Jordan said something similar. And Jordan, do you guys agree with that still? Has it changed a little bit? Let's start with Jordan.
No, I think it's pretty much there. So I think this map is superior than Forza Horizon 3, and you do have more modes in this game because it's newer. For example, Eliminator mode, which came out in 4, which is now at the start of 5 here at launch. So you have more modes in number 5. the thing is I don't. Talking to people like within my inner circle.
Okay, the inner circle.
The inner
your
circle.
Trusted,
yeah,
your
my
trusted
safe
circle.
place.
My trusted circle. Whenever we talk about Forza Horizon 3, everybody always talks about, oh, I remember when I tried to do this with this player and this member of my club, and it's always revolves around that club system. And I think the reason people have fond memories of Forza Horizon 3 in the club is the same reason you have fond memories of like Halo, because it's that community aspect.
Yeah.
I feel like they have clubs as a clan tag in this game, but it doesn't bring your individual community as close together as Forza Horizon 3 did. And I think the reason is because you have to go out of the game.
Yeah,
you have to go in, and I'm not necessarily saying Xbox clubs are bad. I just don't think implementing a game into those clubs is basically I just want Forza Horizon 3's club back.
Yeah,
is all
I
I'm
think
saying.
that's most.
And I think that's what puts Forza Horizon 3 towards the top of the list for me.
See, right now it's tied for me.
I think they're tied. Really,
I actually think long term, the thing that Forza Horizon 5 does better than 3 is content. There is so much more content. They really have nailed and fine tuned the collection aspect of it. For instance, we're dropping with the spring challenges, the temporary time challenges where you can earn from the season, and those seasons will pass, and you'll have to collect all the different cars.
It's almost
available,
like
stuff like that.
It's almost like a
dailies and weeklies.
Yeah, it's
system.
like a miniature battle pass.
And see, that is superior. I think long term this could edge out Horizon 3 for me. I just haven't spent as much time in it yet, so.
Yeah,
Spicy. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm gonna go ahead and say this is the best Forza I've ever played.
Oh wow, he just ripped off the Band-Aid.
Ripped it right off.
I don't care what you guys think.
I don't
think my
mince
opinion
words.
is better.
Yeah.
No, ignoring. I mean, it is really cool to have clubs. I mean, no one argues against that. But the gameplay, how it looks, the amount of cars, the map, the routes, even the design of the campaign routes, just the game is one of the best racers I've ever played. I have been hooked on this game. It's the only game I've played this week.
Yeah, I mean, you leveled up unlike I've ever seen you level up a racer before.
I haven't played for 2 days, and I'm almost level 200.
Yeah, man.
So this game, chat just said it's the GOAT. I totally agree. It would be so nice to be able to see how much better I am than everyone else with the clubs.
With that club system.
But at its foundation, it is a race car game, and it is probably the best race car game I have ever played. So
there you go. So let's go like this. So we'll start with Spicy, because Brian F. wrote in and says, where does it rank in your list of the Forza Horizon series? Spicy puts it number 1.
Yeah.
Hands down.
The cars, the tunes, the designs, how I was easily able to grab my vinyls from previous games, how they linked it so I didn't have to do all the work again. The game is fantastic. I love changing my car to have more oversteer so I can spin around corners better, because I always hated understeer. It's the worst feeling in the world. I can sit down, throw on some music, and just enjoy this game. It's beautiful. I think it's probably the prettiest game that you can. Very few games have this caliber of graphics, I think.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many. If we're going through, you're looking at the car, the suspension, the speed, 10. Yeah. There are so many 10s on this game that I can't, with good conscience, give it any other score. So I'm gonna.
No.
The only thing. Well, there's 2 things, and I'll bring them up right now. The clubs we've talked about. That's a shame. It is really disheartening to have cheaters in the game that hack the. Well,
not necessarily cheaters.
Well, they're exploiting the game on a scoreboard, and it's too bad that those exist. But I like when we were playing. It wasn't Need for Speed. What were we playing?
Burnout Paradise.
No. We would just. It was the Ubisoft one, and we were crushing it on the Vegas.
When it comes down to it, you finished all the races you want to, and now you're looking at leaderboards to try to improve yourself. It's always frustrating when
the crew.
the crew. Yeah, that's right. We were playing the crew. When somebody has just a standard Porsche 911, I don't know what car it was. It was like, I don't know. It was like a 911, and they're all on top, and they've all gone 600 miles per hour on the speed traps, which is obviously impossible. And you get really confused. Then you go a quick Google search. Apparently, if you hold the e-brake and the right trigger for 5 minutes and then just let go of the e-brake, you are, Star Wars Mach's, Millennium Falcon speeds right down the line.
Honestly, I kind of want to do that, though.
No, but it ruins the integrity.
Well, what they should do, this is what they should do on stuff like that. Because on this game, because I agree with you, in a game like this, number one, there's always going to be those glitches, especially when the game first launches, or cheat ways to cheese the game that development can't see until players, have till it's released into the wild.
Sure.
And I think for those leaderboards specifically, and even ready for this, even for clubs, I think they should reset the leaderboard. And I think if there's a known leaderboard that is being cheesed, or even after like 1 month in, we're resetting all leaderboards in the game.
Just have a wipe.
Yeah, just have a wipe. And I think that would be good.
They can't do a wipe in this game. They just can't do it. The reason they can't do it is because the accolades is how they rank.
Well, okay. Accolades is different.
That's for clubs, though.
Yeah, but for the
like speed traps.
But for like speed traps and stuff, you could wipe those. Yeah.
The wipe the times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. They do the seasonal stuff every season. Besides the weekly seasons, maybe. But there's
just wipe it twice a year, every 6 months.
Or
you could just go case by case, like, hey, we know.
Just remove the cars that have the bugs from the leaderboard.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
because
that way you know it's true.
You know that Seinfeld episode when Costanza's taking the Frogger arcade across the street, because he has the high score. And he doesn't want to lose that high score, so he has to
plugged in.
He has to leave that thing plugged in.
Yeah.
If you worked really hard, legitimately, to get that high score,
you should keep it.
I think you should. That's a world record, or whatever it is.
Fair enough.
You should be there. But if there's a car with a glitch, they do this all the time in any esports tournament. Get it out of the runnings.
Get it out.
Get it out.
Okay.
Until it's fixed.
Okay, so sorry. This is long because we're answering Brian F's question on ranking. You rank it number one of Forza Horizon.
Yeah, it's
all-time.
so good. Yeah.
Jordan, you, it's tied for you.
Yeah, it's tied with 3. The thing with 3 is I have a lot of fond memories with 3. It's the first time I've been to Australia.
Yeah.
It's the first time
I've been there too.
We've traveled. First Goliath I ever did.
Yeah.
No, it's tied between. I agree with Mark. I do think. I think it's feature rich. I think everything they've basically taken all the things that have worked from previous Forzas and put them in this one, and we have all those features at the start now, like the Eliminator, all the different the seasonal content, the I don't know what I was going to say. The stuff.
Dot.
But and I do think this is the best map out of all the Forza 5 or all the Forza Horizon games that they've made. Mexico is the best map, and I think it has to do with all the different biomes
and the way they present them to you. Is really good.
Well, and even just racing in the jungle biome and then jumping over to the desert biome feels different.
Yeah.
It really does. And then doing street racing like in the city as opposed to street racing in the desert, it feels different. I feel, and because of that feel and all the different biomes, it makes it fun to explore.
Yeah.
It's fun to get all the XP boards. I've seen people in the community take some awesome pictures from the volcano or just from different areas.
It's the largest map. It's not even close.
It's
amazing.
It's the largest map, and I think it's the best map.
See, everything you're saying there tells me that it should be above 3 for you.
See, and here's the thing.
I really
are you hanging on to nostalgia? Are we hanging on to nostalgia?
So you guys. I mean, clubs would be great. But the core game...
But it's not just clubs. Like, what would you say if someone said, hey, what's your favorite Halo game? You always put Combat Evolved in the running because of the amount of fun you had with it, you know?
Well, plus, I mean, Halo 4 versus Combat Evolved.
Well, yeah. I mean, we after 3,
you get what
usually
I'm saying.
not...
There is
I mean, there's just that like, how much time and fun we had. I think I'm holding on to the time and fun. And I'm going to say it. I'm holding on to the clubs.
But you haven't had that chance yet because you've only had it for 5 days. and now you're going to be playing Battlefield.
Yeah.
So you did not take the Well, I'm sure you did plenty of game time. I'm just saying, give it more.
No, it's up there. I'm just three is really good. Yeah. I mean, it'll probably make its way to the top as we play more, and overall, you know.
Same. So for me right now, they're tied, leaning 5, but we'll see. I want to finish, get much further into the game than I currently am, but it's very, very good.
We know the map is like top.
Oh, it's the top
tier.
map. Yeah, it's the top map.
I would
two things that it's top map and things to do. It has the best quests.
No,
and the most
I'll be honest. What's holding me on to 3 is the amount of. It's probably nostalgia. It's that Halo Combat Evolved. Fair. You know, it's just it's
this game hasn't yet picked up that nostalgia.
See, I've already got. I'm level 200. Yeah. I already got that nostalgia in me now.
No, great question though, Brian.
But it is a very good game and very well.
Can I just add that the map is top tier, but the developers did such a good job at making the actual routes in the map themselves. Like the map.
Yeah, they always do a pretty good job of that. But
pretty good. But
they've done a really
this
good
one
job.
is better. They've outdone themselves, I think, on all these maps.
Yeah.
I love the races. I don't feel like it's tedious or a chore to play all the races.
I do want to let's do some super chats here before I move on, and I do want to shout out Camshafts. Camshafts is probably our resident racing, one of our resident racing experts. I mean, his name is Camshafts.
Yeah. He's
really good. Our other residents happen to be our Australians, Chief Wiggum, R56 Cooper. Shout out to you guys as well. But he says the map is amazing, and
it really is.
I think we agree with that. AOG War Dog left a super chat. He says, "Hey bros, been enjoying Forza Horizon 5 and Battlefield 2042. Looking forward to these games and futures that are coming out. Keep up the amazing work." Thank you very much, AOG War Dog. And our other super chat is from. Oh, I just lost it. There he is. It's from Beast. He says, "I love Forza 9000." It looks like you're typing in on your gameplay there, McSpoon.
No, I'm putting this is McSpicy. That's my, this is awesome. Everybody, we're watching my gameplay. That's what everyone can see that's here live. And we're putting my name on the license plate, and it's super cool to see that go up. I like it. We have another question from Mr. Fripp regarding Forza. He says, "I'm curious about your all's opinion on the XP workaround glitch on Forza Horizon 5. I'm struggling whether or not to do it. Do you guys consider it cheating or just taking advantage of what the game allows you to do? Thanks, bro. This is by far the best Xbox podcast out there. IGNs think they are, but it's you guys." Well, thank you very much, Mr. Fripp. Appreciate it. So, yeah, the XP glitch. So, there's multiple XP glitches, actually. The most famous one at the moment is the Goliath glitch.
It's always the Goliath, isn't it?
And that was the same in 3. Yeah. I don't know if it was the same in 4. I wasn't as concerned in 4 with getting experience, but it was definitely the same in 3. And basically, you can set up your own race. So, for those of you who haven't played Forza before, you can create your own blueprint for every route that is out there, and you can put as many laps as you want in it. And so what players are doing is putting it on 50 laps, because the more laps, the longer the race, the more XP you're going to get. And then there's a way to turn down all your settings so that basically you can AFK race a 50-lap Goliath, and you get a ton of experience and a ton of accolades. Well, not a ton of accolades, but you do get accolades for it as well. And it's a way to just level up while at work or while sleeping. Yeah. Is it cheating?
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say yes.
I would say because it's because every time we talk about exploits, like someone always brings up like the Destiny 2 loot cave and how we were okay with that. I think there's a line, right, with exploits. If the exploit directly hurts another player, it falls under cheating.
Okay.
If it does not directly hurt another player, it doesn't fall.
So does this directly hurt other players?
Because of the leaderboards, yes, it does.
Yeah,
but the leaderboard, but XP is just your XP is just your level up.
No, it counts in clubs. So to get XP, you get accolades. Accolades transfer to the club. Which is a leaderboard. Because of a leaderboard, it does directly affect other players. So I would consider it what's a nice way to say it? A non-politically correct way to drive.
On top of that, the more driver morale becomes an issue because
Morale.
I don't know what you would call that, because I'm a legitimate level 200, but who knows if other people have put in the time to do that, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's disheartening.
So we're all in agreement. It feels like even chat. Trigger Brian says it's unsporting. That's definitely
That's a good way to put it.
Unsportsmanlike, for sure. But yeah, I think the reason, because it doesn't seem like you're like thinking to yourself, oh, AFK race, okay, that's no big deal. But the base of Forza is so heavily surrounded by collections, XP, and leaderboards.
Well, it's a racing game,
and your level. That we were talking about this before the show. I told Spicy, when I see a level 500, usually I'm like, dang, that guy, that is legitimate.
Yeah, you're impressed.
But when a glitch it's not a glitch. I think AOG Wardog put it best. Not really a glitch, just a feature exploit. When that exploit exists, it does take away. Sorry, it tarnishes that,
and driver morale goes down.
And
now here's
morale.
the thing. Do you think Playground Games will fix it?
No.
Oh, they already have. So they already have. There was already an update. So in one of the updates, to my understanding, now you can correct me if I'm wrong. Someone listening probably can correct me if I'm wrong, and probably will. But to my understanding, there was a fix to it initially, and it would basically make you run into trees. Like you couldn't it wouldn't AFK do it. And then there was another exploit found where if you changed a couple more settings, you could do it. So I would imagine a fix is coming for that. It's not that you can turn it to 50 laps and do it. If you turn it to 50 laps and you actually race those whole 50 laps, that is legit. Good for you. You deserve all that XP because that's
laps?
hours.
I'm gonna do the
hours of gameplay. It's the fact that you were able to do it AFK, so you could make the settings so that you could AFK do those 50 laps.
So you could go to the
So
store.
Goliath
you could
is
go to
like
the
a
store.
14-minute map, right? So
Is it a 14-minute map?
yeah, the
Yeah, it's
bigger
about
one.
14.
The bigger one, it's
The Colossus.
The Colossus is like a 25-minute.
So go
20 to 25.
So go 14-minute time. See, and I don't think you could do it on the Colossus. I think because of the route.
Yeah, because the Goliath is just the perimeter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 14 times.
Yeah, so
50.
AOG Wardog says he thinks it's been fixed that it'll kick you for inactivity.
Okay, well that makes sense.
How does it know that you're not in
It's
activity?
11 and a half hours, David.
Yeah, see, now if you do that legitimately for that XP,
You deserve it.
You would. That's
clap. Big clap for
that's
you.
some.
That's
like
next
that's European
level.
racing.
It's the fact that you were able to do it while walking away that is cumbersome.
That's like what they do in the real races.
Yeah, that is like, what's the big French race that
Le Mans.
Le Mans. That's the Le Mans.
Yeah.
The French. I said it all harsh.
The French?
What's the French?
What is the French word for that?
So it's a disappointing feature exploit. It sounds like it's being fixed. That's what we're hearing. But yeah,
But regardless,
it
whether it's
crushes your morale.
whether it's your favorite game or not, it is an incredibly fun game.
Dude,
Like it's really good.
They did a really good job.
Yeah,
incredibly
did.
fun. Now, early access Battlefield 2042. Jordan, you were showing us some footage.
Let's be honest, it came out today.
It came out today.
Let's be real.
Their marketing team duped us, and I give it to them.
And they got us.
And they got us because you guys know how I feel about them raising the price of games from $60 to $70.
Yeah.
Right?
But
So
if they let you open it a week early, you're okay with it.
Then it's like, oh well, okay, you know, like, yeah. So it's, but let's be honest, they got us. They got me. So anyway, it came out today. A lot of the issues I had with the beta are fixed. They moved the kill feed is more legible, and it kind of pops out a little bit more when you kill someone. Instead of all your points and stuff coming up on the right hand side of the screen, it comes up in the center, and it's all colored as it should be. Very, very small visual bugs. Sometimes I would see a player die and their body would just ragdoll float.
Okay.
No more seizure flickering like in the beta.
Okay, that's good.
That's really good. But very, very small amount of bugs, I feel like. There is one bug where I was in Portal and I would hit start on a deploy screen and it would freeze. And then the other like visual bugs I would see were just ragdoll, like someone would die and their ragdoll would just kind of float there for a minute. So not anything terrible. They actually did quite a lot of fixes from the beta, and I'm impressed.
That's good.
So now, this being said, I've not played a bunch. I did play a little bit of each mode. I spent most of my day in Portal, and I think that is going to be the crowning jewel of this game.
Okay, now explain Portal for those that are new to the show or haven't heard about it.
Basically, Battlefield's ultimate version of Forge mode. So it's like a Forge mode from Halo 3, but with way more tools. And you can play through the different Battlefield eras. So I spent a lot of my day playing Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2. And they're all done within the new engine. So you're not getting the old graphics. You're getting new graphics set. So basically, imagine playing Battlefield today, but with this fidelity. There's no difference.
You mean Bad Company?
Bad Company, yeah. Sorry. Bad Company today in this graphical fidelity. There's no other difference. There in Bad Company 2, I don't know if you guys remember, but you can't prone. Okay. In this, some of the weapons had pretty intense bullet spread. So like you couldn't hold down this trigger. You kind of had to spray. More
like
control.
tap, tap, tap.
Yeah, more controlled burst. That's all still there. It's really the classes are still there. The kits are still there. It's really it's basically a remaster.
Yeah, you were showing us.
It's really
it's
cool.
Is that Battlefield 4? No, that's 2.
No, that's Bad Company 2. I did a lot of Battlefield 3. One thing I didn't notice right away until I started seeing people talk about it online, but Battlefield 3 has their sun flare with the hexagon that's still there. Like if you look into the sun, there's this huge sun flare that comes down. That's all still there. It's as the game was in this new engine. Same with 1942, which is the first game in the series, and then I believe, what was the other one? There's Bad Company, Battlefield 3, 1942. Oh, and then 2240 or 2042, which is the new one.
Just out numbers, just random numbers. We'll get it.
Yeah. Anyway, what's exciting about I think I'm at this point more excited to see what they're going to add next to Portal, whether it be more maps, different Battlefield games. Because Portal, I think, is the jewel of this game.
That's
and
cool.
It replaces the rent-a-server program they had, because you can create your own server, do what you want. The community plays we can do for this is going to be super easy.
Oh, yes!
And we can do a community play of people that can only drive mongooses or quads, and then people that only have grenades. So we can we can do crazy stuff. The editor is really cool online. It's really the highlight of the game.
It's out right now if you paid
extra
for it. When does it drop officially for everybody
November
else?
19th.
November 19th.
Yeah.
So there you go.
We
did it like how many days before? That's
a week.
Yeah, that was 7.
And I think you get
sense.
If you're a Xbox Game Pass Ultimate member, you do have EA Play.
So you get that like 10%
So
off?
you do get 10% off, but you also get the 10-hour trial.
Oh, okay.
As well. So go in and download that.
Get the trial.
The only I don't want to give it a score yet, because I want to play it for a week at least or more. The only thing is their menus are just weird. Like it's just it like, now that I know where everything's at, it's not as bad, but trying to figure things out. Like, for example, one of my criticisms in the beta is you could only customize your weapon through that plus system. So the plus system is still there.
Yeah.
You can customize your weapons outside of the game, so you don't have to spawn in and then do the plus system and do your whole loadout. But you have to basically go into the plus system menu, and you have 3 squares going vertical, left, right, and down to show you the plus system. The attachment's closest to your gun, so every attachment on that first square is what your gun spawns as.
Okay.
Which is not very clear, because you're like, okay, this is a plus system, but how do I want to customize my gun? And so it's all the plus system is the new customize your weapon menu, but you can do it outside of the game as well as inside of the game. So
it's not as intuitive as it otherwise could be.
No, like before it was just like a list and you went gun, attachment, here.
Sure.
This time
you couldn't do it in the game, you would do it in the menu.
You do it in the menu.
Yeah.
Now you can do it in the game with a plus system, although you are limited to attachments because you can't have all your attachments there, because there's quite a few scopes, for example. But outside of the game, like if I'm in the main menu and I'm doing my loadout, which they do have actual loadouts now, just like Call of Duty, because guns aren't restricted to certain classes anymore. So you can kind of go through and rename your loadouts. You you have to go into the gun customization, and it pulls up the plus menu. So you're thinking, okay, this is the plus menu. This is what I customize in game.
Yeah.
But what it doesn't tell you is the closest attachment to your weapon on the plus menu is actually what your weapon spawns as, or what your weapon is currently. And then from that point, you can use this plus system in-game to change it. And what's really weird is in Portal, because Bad Company 2 had customizations on their weapons, but they didn't have a plus system. They still use the plus system overlay in the menu, but it's not. It's weird, but you can do it.
Okay.
It's just the customization is all in the plus menu now, which can be customized outside and inside a game unless you're playing one of the older games like Bad Company and they have it turned off.
Yeah. Now, but Boy Will has a question in chat. Are all the controls for the original Battlefields or the older Battlefields and Bad Companies, are they the same as they were?
For the most part, they may have changed a few buttons around. It felt normal to me when playing. If the controls are different, they have a whole Mark will like this. They have an entire menu for button mapping in game.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And then Beast agrees with you. He says the controls could be more intuitive. It took him a minute to figure out how to throw a grenade.
Yeah. So grenade is different. It's up on the D-pad. So it's a little bit. Their menus are a little bit weird, but overall they fixed a lot of the major criticisms I had from the beta, and I do think Portal is going to be the jewel of this game. I did get to play Hazard Zone with friends of the show Ronan and Devout.
Oh, how was that?
I have no idea what the carrot on the stick is going to be, but it was fun.
Wow.
And we played 2 rounds. We made it all the way to the last extraction on the second round and got shot. So that hurts. Yeah, that was like, oh.
It was demoralizing.
It was an episode 5.
Yeah, it was like,
where you guys lost.
Shoot. That sucks. So I like the idea of Hazard Zone. And I think I get what it's going to be is basically you earn currency. You take that currency to buy a better loadout. You go back in. You earn currency. You take that currency to buy a better loadout, and you go back in, which is great. But how long will that last?
How long does that keep you locked in?
Tarkov is what we're going to compare it to because that's kind of what it's most like and where a lot of these games come from.
It's what they're targeting to audience anyway.
Has that similar loop. You go in, you get stuff, you sell it, you get money, you get better gear. It has that same loop over and over and over again. But Tarkov 1 has a vast amount of gear and loot and items, but they also have quests that keep you going. And I think the big thing is they have a hideout, which is like even in Vigor, they have a base that you strive to build towards.
They have a money dump. So you earn your currency, and then they have a way for you to dump your currency to gain stuff.
So I would like it, and even in the lore of the game, there's like a big battleship called the Exodus. I would like in Hazard Zone if they eventually added that, like basically a hideout that we then take that money we earn to upgrade, and then maybe when we upgrade our, I don't know, the workbench, we get guns cheaper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that. Because I see the appeal of the game is it's very tense and very. It does feel Tarkov, those clenching moments. Yeah. And you're like, oh, shoot.
Oh, baby.
But where's the, why am I coming to Hazard Zone when I can be playing Portal? What's the, I just don't know what's going to keep me there long term.
Interesting. Very interesting. Let's get to a super chat. We got another super chat from the one and only Hugh Manhorn. Hugh Manhorn, thank you very much for the super chat. He said, hope that's enough for a few American beers. Keep up the great content. Enjoy your perspectives and the community. Hugh Manhorn, thank you very much. We appreciate that. And overall, where do you think Battlefield? Your first initial impressions here, very, very initial.
Right now, I'm currently having fun. I have spent most of my time playing Bad Company 2.
Okay, there you go.
I don't blame you.
From a nostalgic standpoint, you're enjoying
this episode. For me, it's all about nostalgia.
It's really interesting though, with that kind of technology and how game developers are able to bring new technology to old games. Will we reach a point where old games never die?
I mean, they never die in my head. The other day, I was thinking of Link to the Past. I just love that game.
Played it again.
Well, that is interesting. Nintendo hasn't really gone down the remastered route.
If you're ever bored, David,
as well.
This is a technique Spicy uses all the time.
Yeah.
If I get bored, I just, in my head, start playing a game that I played as a kid. I'm like rock and roll racing in my head. Oh, nice turn. And then I, I'm not paying attention and get in trouble. But that's how I get through my day.
So I'm having fun. I want to give it a week because right now I got the what do we call it? I got my Battlefield goggles on. I got my honeymoon goggles on right now. So it's just exciting that it's a new game. Okay. The one thing I have noticed after playing today though, and it's because I played in Portal most of the day, the specialist system that they have. Now I like the idea of a specialist system. I like that the characters come from the engineer class, the medic class, the support class, and they have like traits that branch from those classes. But I do think there should be some restrictions on some of those to make it feel a little bit more like a Battlefield game. Not the weapons. I like the fact that I can have any weapon I want with any character I want. That is completely fine. I have no gripes with that.
I really like that.
Yeah, I have no gripes with that. I like being a medic and carrying around a rocket launcher. Like that's 100% okay. What I do think should have somewhat restrictions is like gadgets. Like only medics can revive. Only medics can drop an ammo patch.
Yeah.
Or medical specialists. Only medical specialists or only engineer specialists have access to the ammo pouch. You know what I mean? And just because playing 2042 and then jumping back and playing Battlefield 3 and Bad Company, it really shows that class system is what kind of made Battlefield.
I see.
You know?
And you think they've removed that this new system removes that?
Well,
because you can use it on any.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can be a medic with like an engineer type dude. You know what I mean? Like I think there should be some restrictions within the gadgets, not the weapons. I'm fine with everybody being able to use whatever weapon and attachment they want. That's 100% okay. I like that change. I think like if I played I think her name is Fluke.
Ooh, careful.
Yeah, I know. You really got to watch it when you're saying her name. And when she says it with her Russian accent, you kind of go, what?
What did you just say to me?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
What did they just say to me?
Oh, Flack. Sorry. Anyway, like so she's from the medical branch. Only she should be able to use like the med crate that you can drop down. You know, then it makes that class important.
Okay.
You know, there's an emphasis to hey, we need either a Flack or the other medical person, sure. You know, or same with engineers, supports. So I would like to see maybe just a little bit restrictions on the gadgets just to kind of give it a little bit more of that Battlefield class feel, but we'll see.
Yeah, let's take one more question here. For the show. To write in a question, guys, you can do so or submit a question every single week. YouTube.com/XoneBros. Hit the community tab. That's where the mail sack goes up. Also on that tab, we do post behind the scenes videos for our Arbiter and Higher members. Spicy showed off his D&D and the D&D setup he's got here. So if you want to see some behind the scenes stuff,
cool stuff, man.
Every week we're dropping those there for our members. But T-Bucks writes in and says, "What's up, bros? I'm going to be a dad any day now."
Woo! Yay!
He says, "I think you guys have touched on this subject a while back, but I would love to know how you guys manage your time as both gamers and dads. I love that gaming helps me with stress and anxiety, and I'm extremely excited for the baby, but I would hate to lose that positive outlet that gaming has been. Any advice from you gamer dad bros? Thanks for everything and keep up the great work." That's a fantastic question. Mm-hmm. So, expectations, from my experience, Jordan, we could go to you, and Spicy is kind of in the same position as T-Bucks here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be one.
In my experience, set your expectation to not do any gaming for your first 4 weeks of the baby being born.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine is different.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not an involved dad.
No. I'll explain mine when you're done.
Okay.
Well, we have different.
Judgment fast, David.
We have different lifestyles.
That's right. You know? After that, stuff started to free up for me, and because you gotta be supportive. So
you can be supportive with the Switch.
No,
I'm keeping my Switch on full charge.
Oh, there you go. Then it honestly nothing changes. The only thing that changes is you're just always tired.
Yeah.
So you're just always tired when you game. That's for me. That's been my experience. Honestly, nothing has changed. But work has had more of an effect on gaming than having children did. The other thing is, as they grow older, so like 5 years old, 2 years old, 3 years old, you can play games with them, which is really fun. So there is like really bright colored games. For whatever reason, Forza Horizon 5 captivated to the screen because it's so bright, colors, music, and Psychotic or Psychotics. What is Psychonauts? Sorry, was another good one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
For children to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been my experience. I think balancing honestly wasn't that hard. It just set the expectations. My experience was at first no gaming, then gaming comes back.
See, mine was almost reversed. The first week was pure gold. Because like that first few weeks of life, you're only like sleeping and pooping, you know?
You are?
No, the baby.
Oh, the baby, yeah.
Well,
so
Jordan maybe.
No, so
depends on if he's on vacation.
So and the thing
or not.
is so and like I had a week off of work and my wife was super tired, right? So when the baby slept, she slept.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
let me hit timeout here.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me hit timeout. I forgot that Jordan had golden children where he could come over to my house. And they would just lay asleep in the car seat for hours on end.
Is it called?
I forgot that because my experience was not that.
Is it called golden children or effective parenting? So.
I literally was pissed off because Jordan could live this normal life and my children. My third child though has been that, and it's like, so this is what Jordan experienced. Easy.
I also took one of David's strategies. So when my wife would go to sleep and the baby would go to sleep, because generally like that first week or two they kind of sleep at the same time. Yeah. Just controller sits right here in the hands. The baby lays across the arms. And actually, that was when I played a lot of Forza 3.
That's Forza 3. That's what I did. Yeah.
And maybe that's why I'm holding on, because it was family oriented. It was.
Plus, Jordan promised that he would be like Kratos as a dad. So.
I did. Yeah.
I'm doing. This is like reading a father guide. How to be a better father guide.
Boy.
Yeah.
No, after that, see, for me, and then when they started to get a little bit older, as, a few months, like they start to get personalities, then it gets more like,
now you want to interact with me?
Come on.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
No, congratulations,
T-Bucks.
It's very
exciting.
It's fun.
It's
Honestly, it honestly doesn't change that much. You're just always tired.
I would agree with you, though, David. I would say work gets more in the way of games than kids do. Because, for example, me and my son played through like the first 4 or 5 levels of Tony Hawk because he thought skateboards were cool.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's what I've been doing with Forza, Psychonauts, Grounded. Grounded's a big one. What I do is the character in Grounded is a girl, so it's my daughter. And since you can collect stuff and like change her clothes and stuff, she's like, well, I don't want to wear that, let's wear something else, and we can
and you really like you find fun ways. So like all the games you think you wouldn't buy, you buy. So I got Mario Kart Live because of my kids, and it's basically an RC car and it does like that augmented reality. So what was funny is
we got it for you.
Oh yeah, you guys got it for me. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you guys got it for me.
Give us the credit.
Which is
happy birthday.
Which is funny because I actually use it a lot. Right? I didn't think I would use that game that much, but I use it a lot because I play on the augmented screen and do the races, and they just chase the car.
There you go.
It's actually hilarious. Yeah.
So it's like
a workout.
It's like a T-Rex.
It's like putting a dog on a treadmill just to wear it out, so you don't have to go for a walk.
No, but there's certain games, and this is where
you
like
have to dodge them in the.
As your kids get older, like David said, there's certain games that kind of work for them, and that's where the Nintendo Switch comes in handy.
Yeah, and Austin Flowers, there you go. Yeah. Death Star says I play Roblox with my daughter. Yeah, there's always going to be those games. I know Minecraft is a big one for a lot of people as well. But
anyways, when they get a little,
you know? Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say when they get a little bit older, you can throw them into the raid team. That's my plan.
Yeah.
I heard this, and I haven't looked up the exact numbers, but I think Roblox is the most time played game ever by hours played.
I
wouldn't be
that
surprised.
As well, yes.
Yeah, that game is insanely popular.
By hours played, it's just straight up dominates everything.
Domination.
It's fascinating.
Nice. Anyways, there you go. Again, congratulations, T-Bucks. And also congratulations, Mr. McSpicy, soon on the way. It's very
I'm right
exciting.
there with you.
That does us for this week, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you guys enjoy yourself. We enjoy hanging out with you. If you hear our voices and you think to yourself, these voices sound like voices I could hang out with in person, well, you can do that. Every single Friday, come over to YouTube and join us live. It's a fun time. Join us in chat. Chat affects the course of the discussion. See if you can make us laugh. That's always
I've laughed several times.
Organic Avenger. Always.
Yeah.
Always
Chat's
got us
been
to
pretty
laugh.
funny this time. I've laughed several
Always. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. We will see you in Xbox. Bye-bye now.